All right. Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This week, we're going to be taking a closer look at a match that, well, it had some pretty big implications at the top of the table.
Yeah, definitely some big implications.
Yeah. We're talking about the Arsenal-Aston Villa clash. Going into the game, the report had it framed as, a must-win for Arsenal if they wanted to keep pace in the title race.
Yeah, they were definitely the favorites. On paper, it looked like a pretty straightforward match for them.
Right. Exactly. But obviously didn't quite turn out that way, did it?
No, not at all. Aston Villa had other ideas.
So that's what we're going to be diving into today, trying to figure out, how did Aston Villa pull off this dramatic fight back? And what does it tell us about both of these teams going forward?
That was good.
So, just to set the scene a little bit here, Arsenal, they started the match on fire, like,
Yeah.
really putting Villa under pressure right from the off.
Yeah, Martinelli had that chance inside the first few minutes. Should have probably scored, really. But Martinez made a great save.
Oh, yeah, that was a big moment early on. And even though Arsenal, they continued to dominate possession, even at that early stage, you kind of got the sense that this wasn't going to be a walk in the park for them.
Yeah, Villa were dangerous on the counter. You could tell they weren't just going to sit back and let Arsenal dictate the game.
Right. And I think that early save by Martinez really kind of, it fueled Villa's belief.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we saw that beautiful partnership between Trossard and Martinelli come to life. I mean, that assist from Trossard for the opening goal. Wow.
Oh, yeah, that was a thing of beauty. Just a perfectly weighted through ball. And Martinelli, he made no mistake with the finish.
Trossard, he's really been a fantastic addition to this Arsenal team, hasn't he?
Oh, absolutely. He brings a real creativity and that cutting edge to their attack.
Right. They really needed that, didn't they?
They did. He gives them another dimension. And then early in the second half, they double their lead. Again, it's Trossard pulling the strings. He sets up Havertz for a tap-in.
And at that point,
Yeah.
2-0 up. I mean, it felt like Arsenal, they were cruising. Game over, surely.
Yeah, you would have thought so, wouldn't you? But Villa, they had other plans.
They did. And it all started with that goal from Tielemans. Just 5 minutes after Arsenal made it 2-0, Tielemans pulls one back for Villa, and then he hits the post almost immediately after.
Talk about a momentum swing. That really injected some life back into Villa.
Yeah, the whole atmosphere of the game just completely changed. Suddenly it went from a very comfortable, predictable Arsenal win to a very tense and unpredictable affair.
And you could see Arsenal, they started to get a little bit rattled.
And then, of course, comes the equalizer. Watkins. I mean, he was left completely unmarked in the box, just volleys it past Ramsdale. Defensive lapse from Arsenal. Clinical finish from Watkins.
Classic Watkins. And, you have to wonder if Emery's experience with Arsenal played a role in this comeback.
Right. I was going to say, he knows this Arsenal team inside and out. I mean, this is the guy who used to manage them.
Exactly. He knows their strengths, he knows their weaknesses, and it really felt like he had a specific game plan to disrupt them. And it's worth pointing out, Villa's recent record against Arsenal, they're actually unbeaten in their last 5 matches at the Emirates.
Right. Which is, it's a pretty remarkable stat when you think about it.
It is. And overall, they're unbeaten in 7 out of their last 8 meetings with Arsenal. So clearly, Emery has their number.
Yeah, it seems like he's got some kind of tactical master plan for how to handle Arsenal. And, the final few minutes of the game, oh my goodness. Pure chaos. Mourinho thought he'd won it for Arsenal late on, but the goal was ruled out for offside. And then he hit the post in stoppage time.
It was incredible. Absolutely end-to-end stuff.
Yeah, it was a frantic finish that, it could have gone either way, really.
Absolutely.
But in the end, a draw. And, it feels like it's much more than just a drop 2 points for Arsenal. It really, it exposes some potential weaknesses for them.
Yeah.
Especially defensively.
Yeah, you have to say their defense didn't look as solid as it has done earlier in the season. And Villa, under Emery, they are looking like a team that could seriously challenge for a European spot.
They really do look like a different team since he took over, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. They're organized, they're disciplined, and they've got a real threat going forward.
So this draw, it raises a lot of questions, doesn't it? Can Arsenal tighten up defensively and rediscover that early season form that saw them, at the top of the table for so long?
Yeah, that's the big question for them. And for Villa, can they maintain this impressive run under Emery? Can they keep pushing for those European places?
It's going to be fascinating to see how both of these teams respond in the coming weeks. I think, this match has really shaken things up in the Premier League.
Oh, definitely. It's thrown a real spanner in the works.
Because, we're looking at the table now. Liverpool are 7 points clear at the top. And that pressure, it's really on Arsenal now to find some consistency if they want to stay in this title race.
Yeah, they can't afford many more slip-ups.
Right. And Villa, they're right in the mix now. They're a team that nobody really had on their radar at the start of the season, but now they're looking like a real dark horse.
It's going to be an interesting race for the European spots, that's for sure.
So, I mean, this match, it was more than just a draw, wasn't it?
No, not at all.
It was a glimpse into, the potential vulnerabilities of a title contender and the rise of a team that could be a real force in this league.
I think that's a great way to put it. It was a real statement game for Villa.
And it makes you wonder, could this be the match that we look back on at the end of the season as the turning point, the moment when things started to shift in the Premier League?
Well, only time will tell, I guess. But one thing's for sure, this result has made the rest of the season even more unpredictable.
Absolutely. So much to look forward to. Thanks for joining me for another deep dive, everyone. See you next time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Cheers.
Cheers.